Hello all. Welcome to English Composition 1. I'm Professor Jameson. I'm going to be your professor this year. So basically this video is going to be a brief overview of the class and the syllabus. And so first of all, I'm going to talk about the class some. Composition 1 is similar to the English classes that you took when you were in high school. The big difference is in this class we're not going to cover a lot of literature. Mostly what we'll be doing in here is we will be reading and writing a lot of different types of papers that you will end up writing in college here. We're also going to focus quite a lot on grammar in the first couple of weeks as well, and we'll have a grammar test to go along with that. This is an 8-week course, like I'm sure you are accustomed to that by now. But because it's an 8-week course, it's going to be pretty intense. And you're going to probably do more writing in here than you've done in most of the other classes that you have. We're going to write 3 different papers in here. We're going to use some research methods that a lot of you are going to be unfamiliar with. We're going to write in styles that you guys are probably unfamiliar with. We're going to be citing sources and giving credit to where information came from, which a lot of you guys probably haven't practiced before. And that's going to be a lot to cover in 8 weeks, especially with Thanksgiving being in the middle there, taking one of those weeks away. So we're going to hit the ground running, and we're going to go very fast the entire time. And a lot of onus is on you guys to make sure that you're keeping up with the class and making sure that you're asking questions if you need clarification on something, if you don't understand something. I'm going to try to present all of the things that we do in this class to you in the simplest way possible. All of the projects that we have in here, we will workshop in class, we'll do research in class, we'll write parts of our paper in class, we will peer review together in class as well. And then I'll show you lots of different examples before you're expected to turn anything in. And all of that stuff I'm doing because I want to make this as easy as possible. Some of this isn't going to be easy, though. Some of it is going to be very confusing. And when that happens, when you don't know what's going on, ask the people around you first, and then ask me. This class only works if everyone in it is keeping up and on the same page, and so make sure that you're doing that first of all. If you have anything that you don't understand, ask questions. Rule number 1 of the class. So it'll be a lot of writing, it'll be a lot of reading assignments, it'll be a lot of daily writing assignments that we'll do in class. Much of this class will be doing small assignments that lead up to the big assignments. We'll write parts of papers in class, we'll brainstorm them in class, we'll do stuff like that. Because of that, it's really important that you're here and that you are learning in the days that we're in class. We only have, I think, like 10 or 11 actual days where we are in the classroom together. And those days are going to be especially important. But also, this is a hybrid course, and the asynchronous assignments that you will have on Mondays and Wednesdays will be just as important. This is the first of those assignments, and the people that didn't do this assignment are going to be very confused for the rest of the semester. All of them are like that. Every assignment that we do in here is going to be important. They're all leading to other assignments. So it's really important that you come to class and that you're paying attention and that you're keeping up with the online stuff, because if you miss a few of those, the whole class stops making sense. So let's go ahead and look at the syllabus together. If you want to follow along with the syllabus, in our home page, all of these will be visible by the time class starts. You're going to look where it says syllabus and first day assignments, and then just syllabus. Pay attention because at the end you will take this quiz. That'll be your first assignment that you have. So if we click on Syllabus, we will open this up, and it looks like this. So this is a 3-hour lecture course. This will have class 4 days a week. Every day you'll have some kind of assignment. Even on the asynchronous days, you're going to have something that you turn in every day, including today. Yeah, so let's read through some of this important stuff. So, yeah, 3-hour semester credit, 3 hours. Intensive study of the practice of writing processes from invention to researching and drafting, revising, and editing, both individually and collaboratively. Emphasis on effective rhetorical choices, including audience, purpose, argument, and style. Focus on writing the academic essay as a vehicle for learning, communicating, and critical analysis. Basically what that's saying is in here we're going to be practicing writing papers. It's going to be very hands-on. The papers that we write in here are going to be the same kinds of papers that you will be writing in your upper level classes. Some of which you'll take here, some of which you'll take when you transfer to a 4-year university. That will also this will also be a exercise in critical thinking in a lot of ways. The papers that you write in here will ask you to organize your thoughts in the way that you'll need to in order to be a successful student. And it will ask you to do the kinds of research and critical thinking you'll need to do to be a successful student. I can say without hyperbole that this is the most important class you're going to take as a freshman. And it's very important that you pay attention and you do your best. So down here you can see me. I'm your instructor, David Jameson. I have a master's in fine arts. That's what that means. My office is Old Main 214. You should be able to find me there before class, but I'm only going to guarantee that I'll be there if you email me ahead of time or tell me ahead of time that you want me to be there. Otherwise, I'll probably be out at lunch. This is the phone number for that office. I am never going to answer this phone number. I just have to have it in the syllabus. So the best way to contact me actually is using email. So this is my email address through the school. I check it 5 days a week and once on the weekends. Probably more than that, honestly. If you need to get in contact with me, if you have a question, I'll be checking this all the time. So send me an email and I'll do my best to get back to you as soon as possible. And yeah, like it says here, we have to check our emails 8 to 5, Monday through Friday, and once on Saturday. Yeah, and I'll be doing it more than that probably. So yeah, if you want to, we can set up a Collaborate or something like that on one of the days when we aren't actually in class. If you want to have a office hours meeting, I can also meet you for office hours before or after our class. You just have to ask. Okay. So this is a list of some of the things that we'll actually be doing in class. We're going to have a lot of daily grades. We're going to have a daily grade almost every single day where we turn in some kind of assignment in the class. Those add up quite a lot. That's 30% of your overall grade is going to be daily grades. So you need to make sure that you're coming to class and that you're doing the actual work in class. We're going to have a grammar exam. This will be next Monday, I believe. That the grammar exam is going to cover a lot of grammar stuff that we'll cover in the first week and over the first weekend. And it's not very hard, but this is going to be worth 10% of your grade. Have 2 out-of-class essays that will really be in-class essays. We'll workshop them in class. One is a research paper that is going to look at your field of study. You'll research a topic within your field of study, and you will learn about what you're going to be doing in the future I like that paper because it gives you exposure to what your actual field of study is like, and a lot of you guys haven't explored that yet. Some people, a lot of people actually, change their fields of study after this essay. The other one will be an argumentative paper. That will ask you to either argue about a topic in your field of study. If you want to do that, you can. But you can also just argue about almost anything you want. And it just needs to be something that you're interested enough in to write a lot about. That'll be the longest paper we have in the class. Also, we're going to have an in-class essay. That'll be our first essay. That will be a literacy narrative, which you will, we will work on. I believe in week 2, you will brainstorm and outline and then eventually write that out actually in class on notebook paper. Finally, we'll have a final exam where you will, you'll have a short writing assignment for the final exam. And for extra credit, you can take any of your papers to the writing centers in the school and or tutor.com and have them give you feedback on them. So we covered all that. Let's look here at the grade breakdown. Like I said, daily participation, reading, writing assignments, quizzes, any of that kind of stuff is going to be 30% of your overall grade. So each day in and out of class that we have one of these assignments, you will be earning like 1.5 points towards your final grade. Most of these, will have half of these in class. Half of them will be out of class assignments though. The asynchronous days of the class, those will be Monday and Wednesday. And each of those days you'll have some kind of assignment. And you need to keep on top of those and make sure that you're doing those and turning them in, because those are going to add up quite a lot if you're not doing them. Grammar exam, that's 10%. That's the test that you'll take online for the grammar boot camp that we'll have as the first week. The 3 papers are worth 10 to 20%. The literacy narrative will be worth 10%. The argument paper will be worth 20%. And the research paper will be worth 10%. These should be in a different order. We're actually going to go literacy narrative, research paper, and then argument paper. Final exam will be worth 20%. And that will be the final week of class. So, grading policy down here. Major grades, major papers are written over the course of several drafts. You'll have the opportunity to rewrite all 3 of those major papers that we turn in here. Your first drafts for the second and third paper will be peer-reviewed in class. You'll come in and you'll share copies of your paper with the people in your group, and they'll give you feedback and you'll give them feedback. The second draft that you'll turn in will be one that you turn in to me, and that will be a completed typed draft for the second and third paper. That'll be a handwritten draft for the literacy narrative. What I'll do then is I'll go home and I'll grade those over the weekend. I'll come back the next week and I'll give you feedback, and you'll have the opportunity to turn in a third draft. If you turn that draft in with all of the corrections that I've asked you to make, you can bring your grade up, usually to an A, sometimes to 100. It depends on what you turned in the first time. As long as you turned in a reasonably good paper to me the first time, then you should be able to make 100 on any of the major papers in here. Late work, late daily assignments can receive a top grade of a 70. Late drafts for your papers, if you turn in your second draft late, your draft to me, they won't be eligible to receive feedback and be rewritten for a better score. If you turn in your final draft late, then you won't have it counted. Of course, regular grade system applies here. 90 to 100 is an A, 80 to 90 is a B, 70 to 79 is a C, 60 to 69 is a D, and you would have to retake the class if you get a D. Failing is 60 or below. There's a list of academic policies here you can look up on our websites if you want to look any of these up. There's an academic honesty policy through the school that you can look at. Mine is a little different than theirs. Communication we already did. Makeup work we already did. Student grievances or complaints. If you have an issue with how something's going in the class, you need to contact me before you contact anyone else. If you contact them, they're just going to send you to talk to me. I don't end up having a lot of grievances because I'm very fair. So, like, if you contact me, usually we can work it out. Withdrawal from the course. If you need to withdraw, I'll send out emails before the last day to withdraw. But as long as you're keeping up with your grades, that shouldn't be an issue. If you're not keeping up with your grades, then we'll have to talk about that. Campus carry, make sure you look into that if you're a campus carry type of person. American with Disabilities Act, there later on in the syllabus is information about how to contact disability services. If you are a person with a disability, you can call that number that's attached there and get in touch with them. You need to get in touch with them if you have a disability and you want accommodations, because I can't give you any accommodations unless you talk to them first. Alternative operating hours, evaluation of instructor. You'll have the opportunity to evaluate me as well towards the end of the course. Alright, here's our calendar. You can look through this and kind of see basic breakdowns of what we'll be doing each week. All of this, is, of course, is subject to change because I'm going to have to change things in here, as I always end up having to do. Things will come up, there will be bad weather or something. Who knows what will happen. But basically you can see here, first 5 days of class, we're going to do quite a lot of grammar, and then we'll also start working on our literacy narratives. The grammar practice test will be on next Monday. The grammar test, it turns out, I guess I got this wrong, will actually be November 1st on Wednesday. So that'll be your first test that you'll have, and then the next day you will write your literacy narratives in class. We'll do the literacy narrative parts in class, and we'll do a lot of the grammar stuff outside of class. The next week we will work on paper 2, which will be your research paper. This will be the paper where you look at your field of study. We'll have 2 weeks to work on this. And like I said, we have to go fast because we only have 6 actual weeks of class time. So we will start off looking at thesis statements, and then we will brainstorm ideas for this paper in class. You'll have a reading assignment, and then we will do research in class where we'll find sources for you guys. You'll outline your papers. You will draft some of your papers in class. You'll draft the rest outside of class, and then you'll have peer review on the 16th, and you'll turn your papers in probably midnight on the 17th. Then we'll have Thanksgiving. That'll mostly be, you'll have an online assignment for that. We won't actually meet in person on Thanksgiving. When we come back, we'll work on the argument paper. This will be the longest paper that we actually do. We'll do the same process with that one. We'll introduce it on that Tuesday. We'll research on that Thursday. The next week we'll do drafting, and then we will peer review on the next Thursday after that. And then we'll have our final, and you'll have 2 days of class before the final, and the final will be on Thursday the 14th. Grades are due the next day at 10 a.m. So if you miss the final, then you're going to lose out on a lot of points. Attendance, you can read over the school's attendance policy. Down here is my attendance policy. Students need to be in class and participating. Essential information will be dealt with in groups during class discussions and through questions. If you miss class, always check the announcements to see what you missed. So, missing more than 3 days of class, this is really important. We're only going to be in class for 14 days, so we have to really crack down on attendance here. If you miss more than 3 days of class that are not related to an excused absence, then your final grade will be dropped by 10 points. If you miss 5 days, it'll be dropped by 20 points. If you miss 7 days, it'll be dropped by 30 points, and at that point you will have effectively failed the class. Attendance is really important in here. I'm not going to give you an attendance grade, per se, but I am going to take points off if you're not showing up to class. You're not going to understand all of this stuff if you're not coming into class, so you definitely need to be here. Excused absences include official school events and religious holidays. If you have a football game to go to, if you have a religious holiday that isn't counted, that isn't part of our calendar, then you can get a hold of me ahead of time and we can make sure that you have your assignments done before that day comes up. If you have a health issue or something like that, you're going to need a doctor's note, and you'll need to contact me as soon as possible. If you're sick or you're stuck at home with a sick kid or something like that, we can work out a way for you to be online for a day, maybe. Having no more than one absence, no more than one absence will add 3 points to your final grade. So there's an incentive for you. Failing to turn in asynchronous assignments within the allotted time. So you need to turn in your asynchronous assignments too. Those also count as absences if you're not turning those in. 3 tardies count as an absence. Arriving 20 minutes late counts as an absence. Leaving early counts as an absence, depending on how early. And don't worry about that one. That one isn't for y'all. Announcements. Every day after class that we have a in-person class especially, we're going to have an announcement that tells you what we did in class that day, what the homework assignments are, and what your assignment for the next day is. What your asynchronous assignment is. So, let's say we meet, next time we're going to meet is on Tuesday. It'll be the second day of class. We'll go over a bunch of grammar that day, and I'll tell you in the announcement later, this is the grammar stuff that we went over that day. Here's the grammar stuff that you need to do for tomorrow, for your asynchronous assignment for Wednesday. And that'll pretty much be it. So, if you have any questions, if you miss a day and you're not sure what to do, first place you should check is the announcements. I will send those out on Blackboard, and it should send it to your email as well. So make sure that you're checking that. Academic integrity. This is super important too. I do not mess around with academic integrity in this class. Academic dishonesty includes but is not limited to passing off someone else's work as your own, plagiarism, or having a machine produce it for you, ChatGPT, etc. Y'all are familiar with the bots that write papers now, and you're familiar with older forms of plagiarism, I'm sure. You're not allowed to use either of these methods to complete assignments in this course for obvious reasons. Obviously it would defeat the point of having an English course if you just used a machine to write your papers for you, or you got your papers from somewhere else. I'm going to really check to make sure that your papers are coming from you. I'll do everything in my power to do that. If I catch you using any of these methods on assignments, you'll receive a 0 on that assignment, and also zeros on any assignment leading up to that. So if you turn in your argument paper after Thanksgiving, and I find that it's been plagiarized, or I find that it was written with a machine, You'll fail that assignment, but you'll also fail the daily grades leading up to that, where you wrote out your sources, where you wrote out body paragraphs. It'll add up to be quite a lot of points, and you probably won't be able to pass the class after that. If you do a form of plagiarism more than once, then you'll fail the class outright. Plagiarism is the fastest way to fail my class. If you plagiarize an assignment in this class, I will probably catch you, and you'll have a hard time passing the course after that. It's gambling. You want to gamble with your grade, you can give it a shot. People get by me every once in a while, but most people don't, and it's not worth it. I wouldn't recommend it. Title IX, so Kilgore College has to apply to the same Title IX expectations of everyone, of all other colleges. We have a zero tolerance policy for gender-based misconduct. Be respectful to everyone. Be as safe as you can. And hopefully this won't ever have to come up. But if you have a problem related to sexual harassment, discrimination, or sexual assault, then the Title IX people here are here to help you. And if you tell me anything about it, I will have to report it to them as well. But do so, because this shouldn't be allowed on campus, of course. This is the Students with Disabilities statement. If you have a disability and you need to have accommodations for it, make sure you contact them. There is the number to contact them. You have to contact them in order for them to send me a letter, and I can't give you accommodations unless I have a letter for you. This is the student learning outcomes. We kind of already covered all of this, but these are the basic things that we'll be doing in class, demonstrating knowledge of individual and collaborative writing processes. So you'll work together for some of your writing, and you'll mostly work individually. Developing ideas with appropriate support and attribution. You'll be using sources to back up the things that you're saying in your papers. Write in a style appropriate for audience and purpose. So you're going to write papers that are appropriate for college. You're going to use college-level language in these papers. And you're going to use the styles in here. MLA style is what we use. Other places will use APA and such. Read, reflect, and respond critically to a variety of texts. We're going to read a lot in here. We're going to read from our textbook, which is a free online textbook. You don't have to buy anything. Use educated American English in academic essays. Of course, we're going to do all of that grammar stuff, so you'll have an opportunity to brush up on academic American English. Core objectives. Yeah, these are things that you're supposed to learn from this class. You can read over that if you'd like. And I already said this, but everything in this syllabus, of course, is subject to change. If I'm only going to use this clause in my syllabus if something changes in a way that's going to damage this class and I need to steer it back onto the rails. If I need to change things in the calendar to make sure things work, if I need to change what the assignments are to make sure things work, then I will. But that shouldn't affect us too much. Alright guys, so that is the syllabus. Your next assignment for today, what you need to do is go and click on this syllabus quiz and take the syllabus quiz. If you have the syllabus out, it'll be very easy to find the answers on it. It's an open note quiz. Don't fail this one, it's really easy. But take that quiz, it's about 5 questions, it should take you about 5 minutes, and then you'll be done for the day. And I will see all of you in class in Old Main in 142. Let me check that really quick. Okay, yes, it is 142. 142 in Old Main is where we will meet on Tuesday, and that will be our regular classroom for the in-person parts of the class. Alright, I'll see all of you tomorrow. Good luck.